Right now, Governor Evers is getting ready to deliver the State of the State address. We're live at the Capitol with a preview of what he plans to talk about.
Also, the Milwaukee Bucks make a surprising move, firing their coach barely halfway through the season. Where the team goes from here.
And later, an organization with the goal of helping domestic and sexual abuse victims is in need of funding. How the state legislature could help close the gap. Welcome to News 3 Now. It was a slippery commute for some this morning as freezing rain and snow blew through southern Wisconsin today.
This wintry mix of wet weather could continue for a couple more days. Temperatures continuing to warm up as well. Let's head outside to the weather patio. A check of your first warn forecast with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Gary?
Eric, those temperatures are going to be very critical to precipitation type, and we do have the potential for some freezing drizzle or light freezing rain late tonight and early tomorrow morning. We also have the potential for some fog. We have extended our first warn weather alert day into tomorrow morning for dense fog, at least through mid-morning. Visibilities could be close to zero, but also for some freezing drizzle and some light freezing rain. Dense fog advisories are in effect west of Platteville to Lone Rock to Wisconsin Dells Line through 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. East of there, they run till 10 a.m. Visibility is right now generally around 5 to 10 miles, but they are starting to drop in a few locations. Notice Waukesha near Milwaukee down to a half-mile visibility. The snow and freezing rain from earlier today has raced off to the east. Now we're just looking at quiet weather for a few hours. Low temperatures this morning, just below freezing, 30 degrees. Janesville right at freezing, 32. And that was enough to get that freezing rain and snow mix. High temperatures, not far above that. Madison, 33 degrees for the high. Janesville hit 36, so some of that ice started to melt. Current temperatures are near those highs for the day. Madison right now just above freezing at 33. We've been stuck there for the last couple of hours. 33 in Verona, 33 in Mount Horeb, also 33 in Cross Plains. Look for fog to develop during the evening hours. Temperatures holding nearly steady right around 32, 33 degrees. And there could be a little drizzle. But again, as temperatures turn colder later tonight, we could see some freezing drizzle or light freezing rain. I'll have more on that in the forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Gary, thank you. Stay up to date on the weather with our First Warn Forecast weather app, hourly forecast, road conditions, and the latest radar. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC weather. In about an hour, the governor will deliver his annual State of the State address.
Political reporter Will Keneally joins us live from the Capitol with a preview. Will?
Well, Eric and Charlotte, this speech comes at a little bit of an interesting point for the governor. It's about a year into his second term, and he doesn't have to worry about the state budget like he did last year, for example. But we are expecting to hear him try and make a strong case for Democrats, set them up for wins in this fall's election. We actually got some excerpts from the governor's office on the speech earlier in the day. We're expecting him to focus specifically on workforce for the state, targeting things that have been key issues for Democrats throughout this past couple of years, actually. Including things like child care, paid family leave, and public education. I know he also, from those excerpts, he will challenge Republicans on some of those issues, saying that he's willing to work with anyone, willing to engage in meaningful conversation. Now, the other thing that happened earlier today is Republicans introduced a very thorough tax plan, a bunch of different tax cuts. It will be interesting to see tonight whether the governor has any reaction to that. So a lot to look out for. The speech kicks off at 7 o'clock, but we'll be back at 10 o'clock tonight with a full recap for you. But for now, reporting from the state capitol, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
As Will mentioned, Republican lawmakers are introducing a series of wide-ranging tax cuts that rearrange the state's tax brackets. For parents, this would allow you to deduct more of your child care cost on your taxes. According to a state estimate, this could mean half of Wisconsin parents could see between $700 and $800 back every year. For people over 65, the first $75,000 of their income would be excluded from their taxes. Also, a large portion of Wisconsinites could see a tax break as well. The state has 4 brackets, with one covering incomes from $28,000 to $315,000. The plan would take everyone making less than $112,000 and move them to a lower bracket, giving them a 1% cut.
4 bills, all good. The option would be to hopefully pass all of these, get them to Governor Evers' desk, and hopefully he signs all 4. It's very affordable considering the size of our surplus, and hopefully something that we can get across the finish line.
Republicans have tried multiple times to pass other tax cuts, but Governor Evers has vetoed them every time, saying he wants them targeted to the state's middle class. It is unclear whether the governor will back those proposals.
Now to an update on a homicide case in Juneau County. The 2 suspects arrested in connection with the case have now been charged. They are 47-year-old Donald Dahlberg of Lone Rock and 27-year-old Crystal Toomer of Grand Marsh. Dahlberg faces several charges, including first-degree intentional homicide, hiding, and mutilating a corpse. He was given a $1 million cash bond. Toomer is charged with mutilating a corpse, among other charges. She was given a $50,000 cash bond. Last Thursday, 57-year-old Floyd Burdick's body was found on County Highway M at the Oak Ridge Trail parking area. That's northeast of Camp Douglas, south of the town of Cutler. The case remains under investigation. The Madison Police Department investigating a trailer theft on the city's east side. Last Thursday, officers were sent to the parking lot behind St. Bernard's Catholic Church on Atwood Avenue. The victim says his enclosed trailer was taken from the space he rents in that lot there. The trailer was full of outdoor adventure equipment, including bicycles and paddle boards. At this time, no arrests have been made. Anyone with information about this incident is asked to contact Madison area Crime Stoppers.
Some shocking Wisconsin sports news this afternoon. The Milwaukee Bucks have fired head coach Adrian Griffin.
News 3 Now Sports Director Zach Henley has more on this surprisingly quick dismissal today, Zach.
Yeah, the Adrian Griffin tenure in Milwaukee didn't last long. Just 43 games for the first-year head coach. And the crazy part, the Bucks weren't terrible. 30 wins so far, and they sit second in the Eastern Conference standings. The one thing that got worse from last year, though, their defense. The D are in the bottom 10 in the league in a handful of defensive categories. Bucks GM John Horst called the move a difficult one to make during the season. So now it's on to finding a new head coach. Doc Rivers is a name to keep an eye on. He's won an NBA championship, has experience coaching superstars, and he's a Marquette legend, so Milwaukee would be a homecoming for him.
All right, Zach, thank you. Federal funding for domestic and sexual abuse victim services taking a big hit this year, dropping by more than 70%.
Here in Wisconsin, that leaves advocacy organizations scrambling to fill that funding gap. Braden Ross joins us with how they hope to do that. Braden?
Yeah, Wisconsin ranks number 7 in the nation for domestic violence homicides per capita. Between 2021 and 2022, we saw a 20% increase in domestic violence killings. Now a drop in funding could leave those trying to escape that fate with nowhere else to turn.
Closing domestic violence shelters specifically will mean more victims and their children are going to be dying at the hands of their abusers.
It's a question those who work with domestic violence survivors grew tired of hearing a long time ago.
Why don't they leave? Well, because it's not that easy.
Baraboo nonprofit Hope House serves families from 5 different counties, providing services to make that transition even just a little bit easier. Their current shelter space can only hold 10 families at a time. Executive Director Lacey Pustina says those rooms are almost always full, a problem Dane County victim advocacy organization DAYS can relate to.
If a shelter closes in one part of the state, shelters like DAYS that remain open, we're going to see more and more victims who are desperately fleeing potentially homicidal situations coming to our organizations for support, and at times where we already have huge wait lists.
And it's not just immediate emergency shelter these organizations provide. They also give legal help, educate, and advocate.
We know statistically that for domestic violence victims, less than a quarter of them ever call law enforcement. So it's really community-based programs like DAYS and our sister organizations around the state who are really providing that service.
This year, Wisconsin's federal funding from the Victims of Crime Act will see a nearly 70% drop. That's money many organizations across the state rely on to stay open.
Where are we supposed to cut when there's not enough funding for what we're doing right now currently?
Now they're hoping the state legislature can help close that funding gap.
We have a record surplus here in the state of Wisconsin, and I think that the powers that be in the legislature have an awesome opportunity right now to really step up.
Now, Senate Bill 877 would increase state funding for victim services by $25 million over 2 years. It's getting a hearing at the Capitol on Thursday.
We're asking for your help this week for our community baby shower. News 3 Now is teaming up with Babies and Beyond to get the essentials to new parents in need. You can drop off your donations at Babies and Beyond on the east side along Stoughton Road from 9 o'clock until 6 o'clock all week long. You can also drop them off here at the station. All the details are up on channel3000.com. Certain items are urgently needed right now. We're looking for donations of certain sizes of diapers, wipes, and baby formula. Pull-ups are also needed. You can donate monetarily as well, or check out the Amazon wish list up on our website. Coming up on News 3 Now at 6, there's good news for those who fly out of the Dane County Regional Airport. The new destinations you'll soon be able to go to.
Plus, did you know a company that helps develop one of the most popular video game franchises is right here in Middleton? A look behind the scenes at Raven Software after the break.
watching News 3 Now at 6. Brought to you by Gruber Law Offices.
I thought with everything going on, we could all use a little smile break. So this one is on Gruber Law Offices. You're welcome.
Find inspiration at the Build and Remodel Expo, sponsored by James Hardy. Meet local experts showcasing the latest innovations in home building and remodeling. Visit buildremodelexpo.com for details.
I've always been a storyteller. I capture those beautiful moments, things other people miss. My health took an unexpected turn, but my care team put my needs in focus, designing solutions to support my ambitions. Now that's just a footnote in my journey, a small part of a story that's still being written. UW Health, remarkable.
The Madison Camper and RV Show and Sale is back. Enjoy the great outdoors at the Alliant Energy Center Friday through Sunday, February 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
The Emmy Award-winning News 3 Now this morning, weekdays.
PB
and J?
PB before we go.
P before we go.
P before we go.
See you tomorrow?
Yeah.
Thursday at 10. Meet local moms on a mission to do something good.
We both really have a heart for helping people.
I'll show you how they're using social media savvy to inform and inspire others in stressful times. Thursday at 10.
You are watching News 3 Now at 6.
The Dane County Regional Airport is getting ready to welcome 3 new nonstop flights from Madison. Those flights will be aboard Breeze Airways. It's a low-cost airline. They're set to begin flights to Tampa, Orlando next month. Today, they announced a new route between Madison and Los Angeles.
Is really a testament to their faith in the Madison community, willingness to travel and wanting to travel, and the demand that Madison represents.
DCRA says the new flights to LA will be the farthest west nonstop destination from Madison. Breeze has plans to offer the flights to the West Coast twice weekly during the summer season.
Well, Call of Duty, one of the world's most popular video games, is developed right here in Wisconsin.
Our Jalen Banks spent the day at Raven Software learning about the company's Wisconsin roots.
Raven Software enters its 34th year being based in Middleton, something the company has made a priority to do. Founded in 1990, Raven Software has worked on countless games ranging from Star Wars to Marvel. Now, they are most known for their involvement in the Call of Duty series.
Since then, all of that fun, wild take on everything has made its way into something like Warzone. It inherently fits to something that constantly changes, and the player's always looking for what's new, what's fun.
Most video game developers are in major cities like Seattle or San Francisco. But Raven's co-founder, Brian Raffel, is a Middleton native and has made it a priority to stay here in Wisconsin.
I always love being in Wisconsin, and we feel like it's a really great community. I mean, it's always in the top 5 places to live. And actually, when we sold Raven to Activision back in '97, we made it clear that we would not move from Wisconsin, and that they've honored that, so that's great.
And Raffel hopes Wisconsin can become a larger hub for video game development talent, an effort that has changed Alexi's life.
I like it a lot. I'm originally from Italy. I don't know if you can tell from the accent. I went to upstate New York for undergrad and LA for grad school. And then in at USC in LA, Activision, there was like a recruiting event. And then they said, you know, there's this opportunity at Raven to work on Call of Duty.
Alexi works on game maintenance, ensuring the quality of their games continue to improve with each update, which is something Brian Raffel says shows how far the gaming industry has come.
Well, when we started, we worked on the Amiga computer, which probably no one's ever heard of, but it was 64 colors and pixels. We've gone to almost movie quality products that we're working on now. So that's one of the reasons I was really attracted to the industry, is a continual challenge and evolution and trying to adapt all the time.
Raffle says the company has plans to partner with local universities to help retain homegrown talent.
Jalen, thank you. Still ahead, a massive new deal sends one of the most popular wrestling shows on television to streaming.
But first, News 3 Now heads out into the winter weather to bust a few of the season's popular myths.
And will we see more rain or snow on the way tomorrow? Gary's complete forecast when we come back.
Steinhaffel's football scratch-off sale is back. Scratch off for your chance at an extra 3 or 5% off your purchase. From sofas and dining sets to bedroom furniture and home office, we have something for every style and budget. Transforming your space into something new has never been more affordable with Steinhaffel's 60-month financing. Don't wait. Get in today and save big. The football scratch-off sale is on now. Shop in-store or online at steinhaffels.com.
A logo can do more than identify your company. It can connect in meaningful ways, energize your team, and inspire your customers. We're 4imprint, and we know your logo on the right product can create moments that matter. With 30 years of experience and thousands of products to choose from, we guarantee your order will be right the first time, on time, and for a great price. Be certain that the right moments will matter. Explore thousands of promotional products at 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Thousands of our heroes face the difficult choice between keeping their heat and power on or facing homelessness. 21,000 Wisconsin veterans are living below the poverty line, many impacted by physical or mental health challenges. Wisconsin loses 3 veterans to suicide every week. Together, our mission is to provide all struggling Wisconsin veterans with a critical survival safety net that keeps them safely in their homes. You can make a real difference by providing a donation to the Wisconsin Heat and Housing for Heroes initiative, with 95 cents of every dollar donated going directly to those right here in your community. Help by visiting www.heatforheroes.org. or by calling 1-800-891-9276. That's 800-891-9276.
Earn now, spend later during Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Rewards Members Dollar Days. Now through the end of January, Rewards members earn $10 in Blaine's Bucks for every $100 spent in store to redeem later just like cash. Start earning now on new resealable deluxe mixed nuts or whole cashews, $17.99. Rewards members save an extra $2. And 20-pound bags of Blaine's brand Easy Scoop Cat Litter, 2 for $14. Earn Blaine's Bucks now to spend later during Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Rewards Members Dollar Days.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
You may be feeling a little weather whiplash with temperatures back on the rise.
Our Maddie Himes set out to learn more about whether temperature changes lead to health consequences.
Can changing temperatures really aggravate arthritis, trigger migraines, or cause flu symptoms? I spoke to local experts to find out. According to professionals, it all depends on the time spent out in the elements and your body's predisposition to certain illnesses. Carly Titus, occupational therapist and certified hand therapist at SSM Health, told me arthritis could indeed be affected by the winter weather.
And the barometric pressure, it's going to make our muscles and tendons expand and contract. And it gets really uncomfortable when it expands because that's going to put more pressure on nerves.
Titus says along the pressure changes, the cold temperatures can increase pain sensitivity, slow down blood circulation, and cause muscle spasms. But while your joints may be affected by the weather, you're unlikely to catch a cold just by being in the cold. Experts say short stints outside can actually boost immunity, but keep it quick because too long can put overwhelming stress on your body. Reporting in Jefferson County, I'm Maddie Himes, News 3 Now.
Well, we could be in for some more rain tomorrow. Gary now has his complete forecast.
Well, it'd be nice if it was just rain. The problem is that temperatures might be cold enough, at least early in the morning, where we could see some freezing rain. Now, and 3 things you need to know. First thing we're going to have to deal with is some dense fog tonight. We could see visibilities down near 0 through much of southern Wisconsin late tonight into tomorrow morning. Then we have the potential for some freezing rain late tonight into tomorrow morning till temperatures get up above freezing. So if temperatures are at or below freezing, you have liquid rain that falls, it coats the ground, and you get a layer of ice. Later on, it'll be mild. Look for above normal temperatures. Actually, even with the freezing rain and precipitation that we had today, temperatures have been above normal, but they'll be even higher above normal, and we could see highs in the 40s by the end of next week. But we do have a first warn weather alert day that we've extended now into tomorrow morning for the dense fog overnight into mid-morning tomorrow, and then some freezing drizzle and perhaps some light freezing rain late tonight into tomorrow morning. This morning's freezing rain and snow has raced off to the east. A little bit of light precipitation in northern Iowa. That's staying out to the west of us. First thing we're going to have to deal with is the fog. Visibility down to 5 miles in Madison. A few places like Waukesha have less than a mile visibility, but so far the fog is manageable. I think over the next few hours we're going to see that fog thicken up pretty quickly. Dense fog advisories in effect for much of southern Wisconsin, as well as Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, and even parts of Michigan. Future track visibility by early tomorrow morning. Notice Madison, about an 1/8 of a mile visibility. Many locations with a 1/4 to an 1/8 of a mile visibility, locally near zero in some of the thicker fog areas. The other problem is going to be that light freezing rain or freezing drizzle. Not too much in the way of accumulation, maybe about 1/10 of an inch over eastern Iowa, but still any untreated roads, driveways, sidewalks where you don't have any salt down, those areas are going to get slippery pretty quickly. Future track beginning at midnight, just fog overnight for much of the night, but then we get to tomorrow morning, here comes that rain, and as it gets into the colder air, it changes to freezing rain. As we head through 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, notice temperatures right around freezing, so freezing rain still a possibility. As we get toward noon, temperatures will be up just above freezing, so a lot of that will be changing over to just some light rain showers, although a few places in the higher elevations out to the west could be close to freezing and still see a little patchy freezing rain into the afternoon hours. But you can see the surge of moisture coming up from the south, so we're going to see some more rain off and on for the next couple of days. Dense fog advisory overnight till 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, west of Platteville to Lone Rock to Wisconsin Dells line, east of there including Madison and Milwaukee through 10 a.m. You can see future track visibility. Notice by 10 p.m. we're seeing visibilities down to about 1/4 to an 1/8 of a mile. 4 a.m., pretty much the same story. Widespread dense fog, but by noontime tomorrow, the fog starts to lift a little bit. There'll still be some light fog around, but not as thick as it was earlier. And you can also see that light freezing rain, perhaps some minor ice accumulations over southwestern Wisconsin. Planning your night across Dane County, low 32 in Brooklyn, 31 in Verona. Rest of southern Wisconsin down to 30 in Camp Douglas, 32 in Watertown. Tomorrow, a mixture of freezing rain, snow, and rain in the morning, changing to rain with a high temperature of 35, but the fog will continue through much of the day. First warn 7 to 10 day forecast. Mild temperatures, mainly rain Thursday, mix of rain and snow Thursday night, ending early on Friday morning. Then dry and mild weather through next week. Next chance of rain probably Friday, but temperatures will be in the upper 40s.
One of the most popular professional wrestling shows is moving exclusively to streaming. Today, TKO Group Holdings, which owns the WWE, announced they've reached an agreement to exclusively stream WWE's Raw on Netflix next year. The 10-year deal is worth a reported $5 billion. Along with Raw, Netflix will also have the exclusive rights to stream all WWE shows and specials, including SmackDown, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Royal Rumble.
And coming up in sports, good vibes in Duluth, while the Badgers say they're more excited than usual for a long road trip up north. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Hy-Vee hot deals are burning hot. Hy-Vee pasta, just 88 cents. Honey Crisp apples, just 98 cents a pound. And Hy-Vee Angus Reserve sirloins, just $5.99 a pound. Only at Hy-Vee.
Update your kitchen today with help from Menards. Delta faucets come in a wide variety of style options and finishes with features meant to make your life easier. Right now, pick up this classic pull-down faucet for only $139.99. Need cleaning supplies? Menards carries top brands like Dawn, Tide, and Bounty. Right now, receive a $10 mail-in rebate with a purchase of $40 or more on qualifying Procter & Gamble products. Save big money now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
I'm Megan Tim, Director of Community Health at SSM Health. You may know us as healthcare providers, but we live here too. And as good neighbors, we know our community thrives when we take care of each other. That's why SSM Health and News 3 Now are sharing the keys to health. Watch for our expert information and advice on air, online, and at fun local events. Join SSM Health and News 3 Now, and together we'll unlock a healthier community by taking time for kids.
The monsters of destruction are coming, and coming with a vengeance. Redneck Rampage against the Grain, War Wizard, Double Trouble, and the Veteran are ready to put on one heck of a show. Plus, Freestyle Motocross is back. X-Games rider Willie Elam and friends with action you don't want to miss. Day and night shows ready to blow your mind. Every ticket is a pit pass. Come early to meet the drivers. Take a ride in a real monster truck. Don't miss the Monsters of Destruction at the Alliant Energy Center February 3rd and 4th. Get your tickets now at monstersofdestruction.com.
This is the house that angels built. Attic Angels Senior Living Community is built on a foundation of authentic, local care. A framework for living well. Windows to take in the beautiful future. And it's crowned by the pride that one's home is one's castle. This is the house that angels built. Attic Angel Community. Independent homes and 4 levels of assisted living. Built with the help of angels.
Save every day with Hy-Vee Perks prices. Fresh Express Garden Salad, Hy-Vee Perks price $1.48. Chicken breasts, Hy-Vee Perks price $2.48 a pound. And 5 pounds of potatoes, Hy-Vee Perks price $2.49. Sign up for Hy-Vee Perks.
The last time the Badger women's hockey team made the trip to Amsoil Arena in Duluth, Wisconsin ended up making it a memorable weekend trip, knocking off Minnesota in overtime and then Ohio State to win the program's 7th national championship. This time around, though, the trip is a little different. They're dropping the puck against 7th-ranked Duluth, so while it would be fun to reminisce, they know there's work to be done.
Driving up there, especially the last hour, 30 minutes, like, you recognize where you're at, kind of, and you're like, oh, I think there'll be some chills, especially when you pull up to the arena. Definitely good memories that flash back in our minds, and we're there for business, and we're there to sweep this weekend.
We all have a really special memory there, most of us, but I think when we get there, we kind of have to put that out of our mind, because what happened last year doesn't really have anything to do with this series.
Just a reminder to check out this week's Wisconsin Huddle with women's hockey stars Caroline Harvey and Lacey Eden. This week, it airs on Thursday at 6:30 right here on News 3 Now. The Wisconsin men's hockey team is back after a week of rest and recovery, and they're ready for the final stretch run at a Big Ten championship. And unlike the first half of the season, it's round 2 against everybody. And the Badgers know every team they'll face will be looking for some revenge after what this group did during their first part of conference play.
We're going to see all these teams that we played in the first half and had a little bit of success. So the one thing we have to understand is the Friday nights when we go into these buildings, we're going to get their A game. We're not surprising anybody, and we're going to have to embrace that. And that doesn't change us, though. Our mentality, Coach Hastings' philosophy, and I know it's dry at times with the dailies he talks about, and day by day, that's not going to change for us.
Badger men basketball playing right now. We'll have highlights of that at 10.
All right, thank you. And Gary, final check.
Visibility's dropping down to 3/4 of a mile in Monroe. By morning, we're looking for visibilities down to around 1/8 of a mile in dense fog and maybe some freezing rain, too.
All right, thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.